Sous toute la terre, l'homme désiré, un garçon pour l'éternité, mais avant figue nous plissait, yo bon nous qu'on pas capoter, yo décidé courir aller, chercher prétexte pas même trouver, yo même le café ça réglé, mais femmes besoin fidélité, ou qui yo pas respecté femme, pas maltraité, yo gagnant. Pas négliger yo c'est maman, en suspend fait yo tourner son. Ou qui yo pas respecte femme, pas maltraité yo gagnant. Pas négliger yo c'est maman, en suspend fait yo tourner son. Pour rêve nous qui pas qu'à passer, pour pas petite notre mépriser, pour yon pas nous pas qu'arriver, puis femme chaque jour font qu'un si déception avec violence, discrimination avec méfiance, ou t'as dit nous pas gagné chance, malgré tout font fait avance. Pour qu'il y a pas respecté femme, pas maltraité, yo gagnant, pas mépriser, yo c'est maman, non suspend fait, yo tourner son. Pour qu'il y a pas respecté femme, pas maltraité, yo gagnant, pas négliger, yo c'est maman, non suspend fait, yo tourner son. Pour qu'il y a pas respecté femme, pas maltraité, yo gagnant, pas mépriser, yo c'est maman, non suspend fait, yo tourner son. Pour qu'il y a pas respecté femme, pas maltraité, yo gagnant, pas négliger, yo c'est maman, on suspend fait, yo tourner son. Merci.
Aujourd'hui, nous réunis pour nous réfléchir sur la Journée internationale de la femme. Et le thème, c'est en réaliser. Et le thème, ça, il arrive dans un moment qui est triste, côté que nous remarqué difficulté que famille noire a confronté dans le pays des États-Unis et propre frère nous qui a confronté dans la République dominicaine. C'est avec un pile tristesse que nous-mêmes membres AFAB n'avons constaté et façon que yo victimisé femmes yo à cause de problèmes économiques. Yo vend corps yo vend nam yo et partenaires yo et conjoints yo non seulement yo abusé yo Haïti, yo mené yo ici, yo continuer abuser yo et par suite de abus ça yo femme yo perdu et garde timon yo que yo prend timon yo nan yo parce que yo pas gen moyen pour yo ba yo manger et puis pour yo loger yo. Donc thème ça en réaliser là que nous choisir, c'est pour nous redoubler vigilance, non? C'est pour nous encadrer, non? Donc nous encourager nous, encourager nous pour nous yon veiller sur l'autre, pour nous aider l'autre à réaliser but. Et c'est ça que fait dans aujourd'hui en termes de en réaliser, nous choisissons. Et nous avons Madame Aysyen, qui est une dame qui pratiquement réalisé dans la communauté haïtienne ici dans Boston. Et nous avons deux jeunes, Vanessa et Ashley, qui ont présenté jeudi.
So this graph shows the median weekly earnings of workers 16 years of age and over. So we can see that overall, women make $154 less than men do in 1 week.
Donc, c'est malheureux de ne pas avoir les tableaux que présenté. Mais malgré genre et filles à travail, filles de moins de plus de 16 ans, cap travail, il a toujours fait moins 154 dollars en moins que un garçon qui a fait même travail là, par semaine.
So this inequality in pay translates to large lifetime earning differences. Estimates indicate that a woman could earn as much as $500,000 less over her working life because she is paid less than a man for the same job.
Donc, on peut réaliser que si par semaine, il est déjà 154 dollars, donc over, et sous toute durée de vie, mon âge est capable de différence de même millions de dollars que on fille fait et en moins que un garçon pour même travail là.
Further, women have the same debt burden as men upon completing their education. Earlier differences in pay, even modest ones, may lengthen the time required to pay off educational loans. As interest compounds, women risk paying more in total. Further, this disparity translates to lower returns on Social Security and retirement investments, possibly requiring women to stay in the workforce longer to make up the differences in earnings.
Malgré tout ça, les yo al dans collège, c'est même l'argent yo doué. Mais yo vinn ap toucher moins. Donc, on peut remarquer que la différence vient faire que yo toujours en retard, puis pas de retard par rapport à garçon. La différence continue à augmenter parce que dette que vous gagnez, c'est même dette là, mais vous touchez moins. Intérêt que vous êtes capable d'accumuler sous dette là, continue à accumuler. Et l'argent que vous contribuez à la sécurité sociale moins, ce qui fait que tous les gens ont toujours été défavorisés par rapport à ça.
So now I'm going to explain the impact of the wage gap. Women are impacted by the wage gap as soon as they enter the labor force. The wage gap is smaller for younger women than older women, but it begins right when women enter the labor force. Women ages 15 to 24 working full-time, year-round, are typically paid just 87.7% of what their male counterparts are paid.
Donc, on a regardé qui conséquences différence qui gagne dans salaire là. Donc, depuis les filles entrées dans le travail, les rentrées en façon défavorisée. Donc, les continuer à dire que les filles entre 15 et 24 ans qui rentrent et qui travaillent à plein temps pendant toute l'année, en général, ils ont fait 87,7% ça que un garçon.
I guess you guys can see what I'm talking about. So, moving forward, we're going to talk about some of the legal remedies to the wage disparity between men and women. In Massachusetts, there are two ways of going about it. There's the Massachusetts Employment Discrimination Act, which is Mass General Laws, Chapter 151B. And this is the employment discrimination law for all types of employment discrimination, not just women. It's for men, it's for race, it's for age, it's for disability, it's for all of that. So no employer can discriminate in compensation or terms, conditions, or privileges of employment based on sex. I think I should cut off and let, do some translation.
Donc, il dit que aucun employé, boss. Donc, Vanessa a expliqué que avec toutes données que nous avons de Ashley et de ça nous montré, il y a une loi dans Massachusetts pour protéger le monde. Donc là, il dit que pas aucun boss qui est capable de discriminer en termes de conditions et privilèges que y a bail, il n'y a pas qu'à considérer que son fille ou garçon pour faire discrimination. C'est illégal.
So in order to file a complaint under MGLC Chapter 151B, the first step is to file a complaint with the Mass Commission Against Discrimination. In Massachusetts, you can't file a complaint for employment discrimination in court without first going to this administrative body. So that's the first step.
Donc, dans Massachusetts, ou pas cabaler comme si elle portait plainte dans le tribunal directement. Il faut qu'on passe par agence ça qui est placé pour protéger le monde, c'est Massachusetts Commission Against Discrimination. C'est lui-même, c'est là-dedans pour présenter là d'abord avant que vous capable aller dans le tribunal avec un employeur.
The law that's more on point for the wage gap issue in Massachusetts would be the Massachusetts Equal Pay Act. This would be Chapter 105A of the Mass General Laws. Massachusetts was one of the first states to pass an Equal Pay Act. The original one was filed, the federal law was passed in 1963. Massachusetts passed theirs in 1975. The actual terms of the law say that no employer shall discriminate in any way in the payment of wages as between the sexes or pay any person in his employee's salary or wage rates less than the rate paid to employers of the opposite sex for work of like or comparable character or work on like or comparable operations.
Donc la loi dit comme ça que il n'y a pas qu'à discriminer en termes de paiement, valeur que y a payé ou sous base que fille ou garçon, il n'y a pas qu'à discriminer contre le monde pour ça.
This is also the same law that also provides that any female employee with at least 3 months tenure can take a maternity leave of 8 weeks and their job should be protected. They are entitled to be restored to the same position that is an equal or with the same duties or compensation.
Donc même loi ça tout dit que protéger et aux femmes enceintes, il dit que ou avez droit prendre des pour 3 mois au moins 3 mois dans position ou capable prendre au congé de maternité qui a duré jusqu'à 8 semaines et leur retourner ou supposé retourner dans la même position avec même salaire que vous avez quitté et sans aucun problème.
Was pretty young when I came to Boston with my late husband, and I was working at the Commerce Insurance as an accountant. Like I said, I have a degree in accounting, and then I left that job to go to work at the city of Boston. I'm going to resume it because I see time is of the essence. So, but although I was working to those places, but moi to do some business. I always want to do business. I always want to empower my family because I know that here really, wherever you are, if you are your own boss, you have your own destiny in your hand. And I know que si je suis on boss, destiny la même et destiny petite mais la même. And I was pretty young and I looked at them and they were young too. My oldest was 6. And my youngest was 2, the middle was 4. The middle is the worst one, but she was 4. So it was kind of difficult for us, my husband and I, to raise 3 kids and to be working. And I thought that I need to have my own business. I have decided, him and I, decided to have our own business. No, it wasn't easy. You have to be a woman of substance to have your own business. Et je connais que Aysyen c'est woman of substance que nous. Nous n'avons pas parlé de l'or, nous parlé de tout l'autre bagage, mais nous n'avons pas parlé de courage par nous. Parce que ça nous que nous investi pour nous lever petit. Non? Et que m'investi en pile pour me lever petit. Moi. So when I was looking at my kids, I said to myself, I want them to have a better life than what I did have myself. And I did work for that. Right now, maybe people look at us and say, okay, we're okay, but they don't know. I mean, it's sleepless night. How many times, how many hours we put. And then I cannot say, I don't take the benefit of myself only. Je ne vais pas dire moi-même seulement. Je ne vais pas dire que c'est vous-même tout. Puisque à cause de ça, si vous grandissez l'environnement juste pour qu'on travaille. You grandissez, they know nothing but working. Because that's what I know, that's what I taught them. And when I decided to do the bakery, I tell my husband, you know we can have a bakery. He looked at me and he laughed. He said, what do you know about bakery? And I said, you know, I know how to do parties. And that's what I know how to do best. And I had my sister, she was in Haiti, she had a school. I went to Haiti and she had helped me. She helped me to teach me many things that I didn't know. So I came back with the determination that I have to have my own business. I was determined. There are 3 D's that I always look at: determination, discipline, and dedication. I was dedicated to my family. I was determined to do something, and I am highly disciplined, trust me. Because women have dit, si nous n'avons pas de discipline, nous ne pouvons pas l'autre côté. Si nous n'avons pas de discipline pour nous connaître qu'on bagage nous besoin faire, nous faire et nous mettre tête pour nous faire, nous regarder à droite, nous regarder à gauche, nous tomber pied, nous tomber dans la mer, c'est pas comme ça. Il faut que nous marchions droit devant nous, parce que songer pied, nous marcher droit sur la mer, oui, nous regarder sur côté tomber. I am sorry I have to inject those biblical things because I'm the will of God. First of all, I thank God for everything that He has done for my family. So what we did, we started the bakery, and it was really hard on us. But we worked there, and I was determined to do it. I want to do it because I know if we put ourselves to do something, let me tell you for my guy and fail. My biggest challenge, my milestone was to build a place. And at that time, remember, it was 1976. We didn't have that much chance. I was pretty young, but we didn't have that much chance. But the only thing that worked for me, I was persistent. And I want those young ladies to be as persistent as they do to be like now. And people should follow you. They should follow your example because when you have...
Carmel and I, we are going to talk to you about the new DV trends that we are seeing and dealing with in the Haitian community. For Haitians, we used to say with certainty, and it used to be very true, that domestic violence feeds on the interdependent nature of the relationship between a man and a woman. Interdependence such as with men used to be the breadwinner, take care of the family, including the women, and the women usually would rely on the men to take care of them while they stay at home, they take care of the children, and they had to take care of the men, feed him, take care of his clothes and his children and things like that. Now this is changing. Now we have women out in the workforce, but still have to take care of the children and take care of their men, and despite the fact that they also have to work. And oftentimes, some of the victims are actually the breadwinner in the family, and they're still victims. So from that, I know we've been talking about economic empowerment and all these things, and it's really important to see what we have achieved in that regard. But also what we're seeing is that the new trends of domestic violence in the Haitian community has still a lot to do with economic empowerment.
Moi, je pense que nous supposons faire un petit coup de définition rapide pour quelqu'un qui savent violence domestique. Parce que assez souvent, on parle dans le tribunal pour violence domestique, il a arrêté, il est en prison. Les arrivés dans le tribunal, ils ne pas comme ça arriver là parce que il pas jamais levé même son monde que dans le tribunal avec lui. Et le temps pour nous connaître que violence domestique, c'est pas seulement un bagage physique lié. Et qui définition l'État Massachusetts gagne pour violence domestique, c'est que c'est leur relation côté yon partenaire utiliser et pouvoir avec contrôle que le gagne sur l'autre pas pour le faire mon faire une série de bagages que autrement moun ça pas d'argent faire de propre gré. C'est ça qui définition que l'État Massachusetts baille sous affaires violence domestique. So si n'attend que gagne tête cassée, n'attend sang, n'attend d'arracher bras cassé, nous pour jamais encore violence domestique.
Okay. So now we are going straight into. Kamel just, gave a quick definition of domestic violence, because she said oftentimes she will go to court with a victim and the perpetrator would say that I never raised my hands on that person, I don't know why I'm sitting here. And Kamel just gave a general definition of domestic violence, explaining that it may happen that you are abusing someone without physically abusing them.
Okay, now we are going to talk about what we are seeing on a daily basis, what's coming to us that we didn't used to see in the past. As every year, we got an increase in the number of victims that come for services. We serve close to 250 new domestic violence clients at AFAB every year. For a small organization like that, 250 to 300, it's a lot.
Kamel dit que et nous avons une augmentation rapide de quantité de cas domestiques violence que AFAB a géré chaque année. Et nous servons à peu près 250 personnes qui sont victimes domestiques, nouveaux cas domestiques violence par année. Et pour une petite organisation tout petite comme AFAB qui pas un pile les fonds qui rentrent là-dedans, 250 nouveaux cas chaque année sont paquets à faire.
Okay, I can also give you some example where the increase are coming. Because we got referral from all the mainstream organizations like DCF, like DTA, like all the big hospital, Brigham and Women, my general hospital. Whenever somebody speaks Asian Creole, they just put the number of AFAB on a piece of paper and they send the person to AFAB without asking what do you want. Okay, and they are the one who have the money to do.
Who wants to follow Mademoiselle Etienne? No one. Who wants to follow her? Again, my name is Ayanna Presley. Since 2009, I've had the honor of serving as one of your 4 citywide city councilors representing all 22 neighborhoods, about 640,000 people. I also have the humbling honor of being the first woman of color elected to the council in its history. And I wanted to, well, we shouldn't clap on that because it's such a sad commentary that it took over 100 years to get a woman of color elected to the Boston City Council. So I am very proud to be the first, but I don't want to be the last. All right. So I wanted to make it a point to come here today as a Black woman, as the founder and chairwoman of the Committee on Healthy Women, Families, and Communities, to stand here in solidarity with you for Women's History Month and on International Women's Day, where we are both celebrating the contributions of women, like all of you in this room, and recognizing the social, economic, and political struggles of women worldwide. I also wanted to make it a point to come here in solidarity. I know this isn't church, but I'm going to do some truth telling. Here in the city of Boston, there's often a divide between the African American community and the Haitian community. And I want to just talk about that because we are disproportionately impacted by many of the same economic, educational, and health disparities. And so rather than have sort of an individual drowning, we should be participating in the collective and synchronized upliftment of each other. And so I'm here as your sister in solidarity to bring that message of unity and just to thank AFAB for your leadership and for educating all of us here today about the progress we've made, but about the struggles that we still need to continue to be committed to addressing. We know that knowledge is power, and we got a lot of that today, right? Okay, and so in closing, I just wanted to speak to that issue of entrepreneurship and also many of the barriers for women. We heard a lot of statistics, but I'm going to tell you the biggest barrier for women, which I think was articulated in that story about moving up in hotel management. Women, get out of your own way. You know, that's the biggest barrier. It's not just these systemic things that we're dealing with. It's what's in the recesses of our own minds. So get out of your own way, operate with the same sense of entitlement that our male counterparts often do. All right?